At On a Divine Note, we explore a wide range of topics that nourish the soul and body.
From healing and wellness to relationships and spirituality, we dive into the mind, self-care, trauma, love, and so much more.
Join us as we create a space for growth, connection, and holistic well-being. Welcome to On a Divine Note. Welcome back to another episode of On a Divine Note, episode 11. I am Bia.
I'm Naya.
And I'm Shara.
And we are so happy to be back, y'all. It's just us today.
Yes, solo episode.
Solo episode. So how you guys been?
Good. Yeah, I've been good. I've been really good.
It seems
Really,
like we
really
haven't
good.
really been able to sit in the same room
I
without
catch up.
everybody's
I know.
really catching up.
I know.
Yes.
We have been everywhere and doing our own thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. So today we are actually going to dive into our icebreaker, okay? Icebreaker time, y'all. So our icebreaker today, I'm going to use my phone. So our icebreaker today is, what is your most embarrassing moment with a guy?
Oh, yeah, because we are talking about
But today is
Love
relationships.
and relationships.
relationships
Yeah,
and
so-
love. Okay.
Relationships and love. So
Most-
what is the most
Most
Embarrassing.
embarrassing
Embarrassing.
moment? I have plenty.
Do you?
Not
Where do I
plenty.
begin?
Shira,
I'm a
what
really
you be
crazy,
doing?
like I don't know how to be cute or whatever. Like I'm trying to think.
Silly.
I have a lot. You think too, but I have a lot. I'm trying to think.
Gotta
Embarrassing
thank myself.
moment.
I guess one I can think off the top of my head is the first time my boyfriend heard me fart.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty embarrassing because for a while I was like, I don't fart. Like, I don't do that. I'm a lady.
Oh,
No,
wow.
ladies don't do that. My
I'm
friends
a
don't
lady.
sing. I'm a lady. So, I remember we were laying in bed and I just farted and it was loud,
Oh,
y'all. It was
wow.
loud. And he heard it. And y'all know Asa, he just laughed at me and laughed it off or whatever. And then because he laughed, I started laughing because I was so embarrassed. Then we were dying laughing. You know when you dying laughing, then you fart again? So as we're dying laughing, then a bunch of them just come out real loud. I said, oh my God. Then we just started laughing even harder. That was the funniest day. But I was so embarrassed. I was holding it in.
No, don't hold it in.
Don't hold it in because let me tell you the story, okay? I saw this girl on social media and she was holding in her farts. She was holding in her farts. She
Like
was-
always?
Every time she was
every
on a
time she
date?
was around her guy, whatever, she was holding them in, not letting them out in the bathroom, nothing.
Oh, wow.
Like she was holding them in to the point where she had to go to the hospital.
No.
She almost was about to die.
She wasn't releasing no gas. At least burp or
Too much
something.
gas in her, and they
Oh,
had
no.
to stick something and let the farts come out because she was finna die.
Ooh.
So now she's like, I just let them out.
Yeah.
So don't be out here.
No, I don't do that no more. Now they just come out.
That is
Now I just do them quietly.
Funny. That is funny. Not for like a whole stuff going on.
Oh,
I was like, all right,
Now
well,
y'all
here it is.
know
This is what I be doing when you're not around. Like,
hi.
this is what they sound like. So,
Yeah, so get used to it.
Get used
you
to
know?
it. Yeah.
I think I'm open. Like, look, this is a part of life. I'm gonna do my best to try in front of a guy. I'm gonna do my best to try to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna do my best, but if it's in the middle of the night, honey, you're just gonna have to keep the covers in the
Listen.
down.
Middle of the
my
night.
God.
Keep it down. Keep the covers down.
Yeah.
Don't listen.
Just
Don't
cut
put
it
your
out.
face under there. That's
Do
what
not
you're
do that.
God, that is
Oh my
crazy.
God. For me, it's a little, rated R. So we were getting busy, and we were in the shower. We were getting busy in the shower. Good thing we were in the shower.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Good thing we were in the shower.
Uh-oh. She
Because
done.
it was almost that time of the month, but it didn't happen yet.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So while we were doing it, it came
Oh.
while I was
Because that'll make it.
Yeah.
and it was that time of the month. Y'all know what I mean. Like, a girl gets her period. You know what I'm saying? So we were
She
getting
was-
busy, and this is probably TMI. You probably don't hear this. But
I
I was
don't.
up against the little, we were doing it.
You don't got to say all that, though.
Sorry, you need to get the busy because because then he, I don't know how I think it was like a lot of it coming out.
Mm.
And he was like,
oh
he
no.
was like, and then I was like, and
Oh.
then he turned to the, now this was like in my younger days.
Yeah, so
This
you
is
don't
like,
really, yeah.
this is college. So
Right, so you're
a man
embarrassed.
now, he don't care.
He don't
Right.
Like, all right,
Exactly.
I wipe it off.
Exactly.
But this is college. So I was like, oh my God.
Oh my
You know what I
gosh.
mean? So he's like, so he like turns around and he like goes to the shower. Well, we're in the shower. And then he's like wiping it. And I'm like,
Oh
no. I was like, I'm sorry. He was like, it's, you know, it's fine. I'm like,
Oh,
girl, I almost died.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
that's
Almost-
hard.
That's
That's
embarrassing.
embarrassing.
I almost,
Was it so awkward after?
no.
Okay.
I was just like, and then
He's like, it's fine.
he's like, it's fine, it's fine.
Oh my
it's
God.
fine."
Yeah.
I was like, okay, all right. Well, that's it.
Oh my gosh, man.
That is hilarious.
Oh,
That's
Y'all telling stories. I couldn't even get to think of one. I really don't. I have like so many, right?
You
gotta
got so
think.
many.
I got so many. I
Really?
feel like I had so many embarrassing moments.
Me too. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think.
You want me?
Uh,
I do have a rated R one.
A rated
You
R one
do?
for you?
Yes, that was the one I was initially gonna say, but I didn't know if we were going there.
I'm
and
sorry.
then you went
And then
there.
I just went
So
there.
now I'm like, should I go there?
Yeah,
and then you
like-
keep thinking.
I know, but when y'all talk, I can't think. So I'm like,
Oh, okay, okay.
Y'all
Go, go,
story,
go, go,
right?
go,
But
go.
that's
So,
story,
okay,
y'all.
go ahead, think.
So I would say,
Uh-oh.
I think it was one time we was out on a date with one of my ex boyfriends, and the food did not sit well with me,
Oh.
and I had diarrhea,
Ooh.
and then he had to go to the bathroom after me, and it was so embarrassing because it was
It was
horrid.
Are you at the house? Are you at
I'm
a
at his
restaurant?
house.
You're at his house.
and it
First
was
date?
Stink.
No, it wasn't the first date,
Okay.
but it was kind of
Like so early on. Yeah.
You know when you just it was just like it was so embarrassing.
No, that is
so
embarrassing.
he tried not to say nothing about it, but I was just like, I stink real bad. You're not gonna say nothing.
You're not gonna say nothing at all? Like, we
don't
both
act
know
this
what
just
happened.
You know,
But
you
that
gotta
was
be like, no.
embarrassing.
You
Like,
would have been like, don't go in there
Wait,
now.
right. 35 minutes.
That's the
45.
funny part. You letting them go in. That's hilarious. And you just sitting there like,
I didn't even know he had to go. And I tried to listen. And so I'm like opening up the window, like on the side, just opening up the window. And it was just like, get it out. And then it's like, when you spray stuff, it makes it worse.
it makes it so much
It
worse. Thank
stinks.
you. I agree.
But you know what
Yes.
you gotta do.
But see, if don't tell me, you
Like-
know. You know.
No,
see?
I
What?
promise you this will work every single time.
What's your trick? You always got a trick up your sleeve. What is it?
Get and okay, and you probably don't have those materials in the bathroom, right? Because you're at his house. But if you know you're finna blow it down, like maybe you should take it with you. Take it with you in the bathroom because you fold up a paper, light
Oh, yeah, that works.
light it on fire, and then put it in the toilet and flush it. It gets rid of the smell immediately.
But then does it smell like burnt paper in the bathroom?
Well, a
It
little
probably
bit.
will.
Yeah,
But then
'cause,
you're going to be
like,
like,
what-
well, why did you
Right,
burn
what's
paper?
going on in there?
But it don't smell like straight.
Yeah,
But
but that's smart one.
Yeah, that's smart.
That's smart.
That's
And
smart.
Oh, my
He don't even know
God.
what you would have.
He don't know what
Right.
happened.
It's a little smoke. It could be coming from outside.
It could be. Look, the window open.
Oh,
window
my
opens up.
God.
Somebody-
Listen,
Right.
that's
Something happened.
hilarious.
That
Oh
that
my
was, yeah.
God.
That's
I ain't think
funny.
about that in a long time. But that was like younger, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, like now,
You know.
but they be like, dang, babe, like they don't care.
Yeah, no, it's just funny now.
They like you. blowing
Yeah,
it
it's
down.
like I
Exactly.
feel like when you're a teenager, that's just like the worst.
Yes.
You know, 'cause
Exactly.
Yeah.
guys are just like they
don't
they
care
so
now.
cool and
Mhm.
you trying to be so cute, but it's
Mhm.
like, boy, this is a part of life.
But a
We all
real
do it.
man nowadays,
Like,
older men,
girl,
Mhm.
they don't.
what you
They don't
been
care.
eating? You know, something like that.
Exactly,
You know,
Yep.
that is funny. Okay, so we are going to get on some relationship questions. I'm wondering, should I kind of move it around a little bit? I ain't moving around. So okay, I guess I could ask this one. What does a healthy relationship really look like? A healthy partnership,
Mhm.
relationship,
A healthy partnership, relationship. I think for me, I think the key is being able to, like they say, like, yes, communication is key,
Mm-hmm.
but also, I'm forgetting the word, but being able to like understand the communication. What is that word that describes that? I don't know.
I don't know the word, but I get
You know
what you're saying.
Yeah, but you have to understand.
Because we could talk
Like
all day,
transparency?
but you're saying like,
You're not.
uh,
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Like being able to really understand what I'm saying and take action from what I'm saying. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm just basically saying you're able to like digest what I'm saying. You're
Right.
able to understand what I'm saying, and I'm able to understand what you are saying. 'Cause
Right.
we can talk at each other all day, but without understanding
Yeah.
each other's like language, if we're
Yeah.
not speaking the same language, we're always gonna miss. And
Yeah.
I feel like as long as you have effective communication in a relationship, I think that is what's gonna make it healthy because, there's always gonna be conflict. That's life. There's always going to be ups and downs. That's literally life. You're two different people. So I think for the first one, for me, it's like effective communication.
Okay.
And then the second thing for me is letting your partner be their individual person and not try to possess them.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So, like, yes, of course, you'll be respectful within the relationship. Like, yeah, don't get home at 1 a.m. or, you know what I mean? But if they want to hang out with their friends and it may be a little bit late, don't nag them about it. Like, let him do that, or vice versa. Or if he has a thing that he wants to do, like a business idea, and you may not think it's so great. He's his own individual.
Right.
Support him on it and let him do that. And if he fails, he fails. He'll get back up. But let him be his own individual. Let him explore. Let him hang out without you all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Let him be free in his own man.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when you guys come together, you'll appreciate that time. You'll do those things, do different things that you like to do together, and that time could be sacred. But I think where the toxicity comes in is when we try to possess our partner.
Try to control.
Or control everything they do, the way they think, the way they cook the breakfast. And I say this because this was me. I'm like, you're not cooking the eggs right. Like,
because you had a different way that you did it.
Yeah,
So you want him
the way
to do
I
how you
did
did
it.
it.
So I'm like, you're supposed to mix them first and then
Yeah.
season them and then you put it in the pot. That's
That's
how
not how he do it.
Yeah.
But that's
But he
not
does
how
it a different way.
Right.
Yeah. And they still come out good.
And it's still
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Like,
His way.
stop
Yeah.
trying to control, and I had to learn this. I'm serious, and that was toxic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was not. I was trying to control like the way he did everything, and that is not what a healthy relationship
It
looks
doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say communication is key, and then let your person be their own persons. I couldn't imagine. Well, I can't imagine because it's happened to me. But when men try to possess you, or women. But in my experience, men, I've had men who tried to possess me and to control everything I did. And there's some things that I'll take heed to, like, babe, you shouldn't wear that because this is the image it'll give off. Okay, cool. Like, I'm not tripping about that.
Right.
But other things, it was just like it like putting it, when you start to possess, it starts to be like, they're putting their insecurities onto you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's exactly what they're doing.
those are the
That's
two things.
exactly that.
I love that.
I love it.
I agree with all of that. And just to add to that list, I think also both people need to be self-aware. And both people need to be willing to grow and willing to kill your ego.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say that again.
That's the truth.
The ego. The freaking ego.
Yeah.
And I think that you need all three of those things because you can be self-aware all day and say, oh, I have anger issues and that's just what it is. Okay, great. You know that. But then are you willing to grow through it? What are you going to do about it? And killing that ego. Like, ego is the reason that most conflicts happens in relationships. It's ego.
Yeah.
So you got to be willing, along with that understanding, within that understanding, that means that I might not agree with what you're saying, but I love you enough to say that made you feel some type of way, so I'm going to lay down my ego here. And it's just kind of like a battle, like picking and choosing your battles. I guess is like a better way to wrap it up. Picking and
Yeah.
choosing your battles is so important in a relationship.
That is so
'Cause
true.
you don't gotta get every
You don't always have to
You
win.
have to win
You don't
every
gotta win.
battle.
You don't have to
And
always.
it's not
No.
even a matter of winning.
No.
Yeah, it's a partnership. So you guys are, yeah.
We're
not-
fighting
we're not
against the
losing.
problem, not each other.
Yeah,
Like changing that mindset and that
Mhm.
language is, I know, what helped me in my relationship.
exactly.
Yeah, like I'm
Yes.
not losing. We're winning.
We're
because we
winning.
came to a solution together.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we're always trying to find. It's like somebody's gonna end up having to, like, kind of let down their ego in a way.
Mhm.
Regardless,
Yeah, it's almost like
it's
sometimes
rare
you
that
have
y'all
to
come
just
to a solid agreement, like
let
for
it
real,
be.
because the conflict wouldn't happen in the first place.
Yeah.
If that was the
Exactly.
case, like
Exactly.
we don't agree on this, and that's okay.
Yeah,
So
it's,
just
it's okay to agree to disagree.
agree to
Because we're
disagree.
different
It's gonna be
people.
like that.
Yep, so many times.
Yeah.
We're different people, and just because it doesn't mean that you're right or wrong because I don't agree with you,
Yeah.
Yes.
you're looking at it from a different side. And I think that that's where we all like not everything can be is one way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like we
Mhm.
can be all looking at the same situation, like, and your opinion of it could be right, and
Mhm.
my opinion of it could be right as well.
Right.
Mhm.
Just
Two
because
things
I'm
could be true.
right, or
It's
you're
just
right,
different
doesn't
point of
mean-
views.
Exactly.
Different
Yeah,
point
not
of
everything's
views.
black and white, and I think that that's how we are. Like,
That's how we're like
Yeah.
made up as people, and we want to be understood. I think that's the root of it. We want to be understood by people, especially by our partner. So I think when our partner might not agree with us on something, especially if they did something wrong, then we feel like that means that they don't understand. It's like, oh, but you don't get it. You don't get what I'm saying.
yeah.
It's like, but also too, on the other end of that, as the partner, if your partner is coming to you, make sure that the language is good enough, even if you do
Deliverance.
disagree, the
Right.
way you deliver it.
It's very important.
Disagreeing. Still
That-
make sure that person
Deliverance.
feels heard. Like, I hear you, but this is my perspective. This is
However,
the lens
this
that
is
I
where
saw
I'm
this
at.
situation
Yeah.
through. Yeah.
That's the truth, and that actually ties in with the next question that I'm going to ask. But I will answer what a healthy relationship is. I have been in multiple, at least two of unhealthy relationships,
Mhm.
and it was some on my part, some on their part,
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you grow from those things. So now, in my time, I realized that, like y'all all said, it's about communication. It's about being your own individual, not taking his identity and he not taking your identity.
Yep.
Mhm.
And it's very important because a lot of people take on other people's identity. If I have my business is Peaceful Healing, I don't expect them to have a business as the same as mine. However, I want you to support me. In my business, I want to support you in your business, like you were saying, Deshira. Don't be controlling. Let us. It's all in the way that we communicate, how we say things, how we actually sit back and listen, and honestly, if you're upset in that moment and you're going to say some really nasty things, it's a way to don't just walk away. Just say, hey, you know what? Right now, if I say what it is that I have to say, you're not going to like us. So let me just take a moment, take a beat. I'm gonna count to 20.
Mhm.
Go downstairs, maybe woosah, take a breather, those type of things, but not running behind them. Well, what you mean? What you mean? There's a lot of people that do
Yeah.
that.
That could be
Right.
toxic.
It's very toxic.
I've been that
So you
person
have
before.
to- yeah. So you
So,
have
yeah.
to allow people their space.
Yes.
We were even if you was a twin, we all came in here one at a time.
Different.
Yeah.
One at a time. We made share the same womb, but we definitely came in one at I hit the air before one of them did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
We're
it
different.
doesn't matter. We came in this world alone, and
Mhm.
and we have to live our lives and live our purpose. Each individual purpose is different.
Mhm.
So in a relationship, you have to understand that.
Mhm.
Yes.
And that's really what I know to be true because I've been through it.
Mhm.
I
Yep.
was looking at things in a different way and different perspective. Oh, he should just know because I feel this way.
Yeah.
Well, this is how it is, and that's how it is. But that's not true.
Yeah.
And then that when I say it's to my next question is, are you bringing past trauma into these relationships? And the answer is yes. I'm not saying we all here on the panel, but I have run
Well,
past
all of- yeah.
trauma into
Yeah.
relationships because this person did this, so he might have cheated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or this person made have said this, or they made me feel that way, or even if he didn't mean it that way, I just automatically just went into snap mode, like, oh, well, whatever, and then you're ready to just walk away and ready to call it quits. You know what I'm saying? Don't deal with it.
Yeah.
That's trauma.
Yeah.
You know. So, do you guys bring, or I know you have at some point in our lives, because we continue to learn and grow, you know. So, and I always say this, and I know y'all know I always say this: what we want in our teens, we don't want in our 20s. We want in our 20s, we definitely don't want in our 30s. In our 30s, our 40s, and I'm gonna tell you, I haven't got to 50 yet.
Yeah.
But I can tell you where I am now. I am so calm, and those things I don't have time for. So I don't want what I wanted when I was even 30.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
And I'm in my 40s. I'm like, I don't want what I used to want.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to grow. You have to grow together.
Yeah.
Because it's like a snake. You just peeling off. You know how they shed as they swerve out of there. You know, I shouldn't use a snake because people you think that's like the, but you know you shed.
Yeah,
they
shed
shedding.
your old skin.
Yeah, exactly.
Shed. So that's where I am with a healthy relationship and how I have brought past trauma into those things because of. And it don't have to be past trauma from relate. It could be from a mom, a dad,
childhood
a friendship.
trauma.
It's so many things.
Yeah.
That's all tied in.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what would you guys
for sure
say on that?
Or
even if a moment that you felt like that you brought something in.
Yeah.
Like you just said, I would walk around the house and.
Yeah, I definitely brought in abandonment issues from childhood into my relationship. And a great example of that is being in a conflict and that person walking away. It's very triggering because I feel like you're abandoning me.
Right.
And so I definitely had to work through that. And like you said, at a point you work through that trauma on your own and you realize that all it is that people have different communication styles. Some people need time and some people, but that's a hard thing to understand when you're working through trauma. Because my relationship I got with my boyfriend as a teenager. So it's a very unique situation to where we worked on our trauma while we were still together.
Right.
So it's gotten ugly, okay, on both ends. Like, you know. So yeah, I definitely have done that. But I do think that if like I feel like it's hard to ask us as humans to not bring any type of past trauma into a relationship.
Yeah.
Like, because you just never know when your person is going to come and the heart wants what the heart wants. You know what I mean? So I feel like I feel like we have expectations these days, especially with like social media in our society where your person has to be this. They have to check all of these boxes. But at the end of the day, we've all gone through something and we're all at different stages in our journey. And so I think that's a bigger conversation of like what trauma is okay to bring into a relationship, if any, and what trauma is not. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I think that healing is forever.
Right.
Like there will be something that happens next week that triggers me and I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize that I even had this issue. Like so I think that like it really depends. Like as long as like if you are going through something within your relationship that is overbearing to your partner, that's spilling over to your partner, that is making your partner feel away and overwhelmed and it's a toxic environment, then you know that you're not ready to be in a relationship. But if you're going into a relationship and you know you have certain things, you're self-aware, and then you also are working through things and you're open and communicative with your partner and you're letting them know what's going on with you and you're controlling in a way that's not spilling over to them, or even if it is like, you know, they're willing to work with you on it. I think that's when I think it's just a conversation with your partner and then also knowing yourself, to be honest. So I don't think it's a set of like if you are this or I think it's just like that, to be honest. And like when I say God
right, get it together.
I'm pumping
that was the Dever. Like, I'm just kidding. The Dever. So,
right.
No, but God, I'm trying to say it out.
I gotta get it out.
And he got it bad. Gotta say enough.
I am over.
Oh my gosh.
A situation where it's like, My mom.
Sorry, y'all know I just got the joke still be in my head. I'm sorry.
God.
Go ahead,
But
baby.
my mom took me. She actually got me a ticket to the meditation museum, and we went to the meditation museum together. And I wasn't, I didn't even think to go, but she just got it for me, and I'm like, okay, cool. But then my son got sick, and I was like, God, I don't know if I can go, but my cousin watched him for me. Like everything worked out, and I went, and I needed to be there. I needed to be there because when I got there, she was talking about the law of detachment and attachment styles and things of that nature. I realized I have a really big attachment to everything, everything, and that also stems from childhood, right? So, like with this guy I was talking to, and we were on and off for years. He actually is very detached. Like he loves me, he's compassionate, like he's all of those things, but he doesn't need to text me every day. He doesn't need to see me every second of the day. He doesn't need to check the temperature you know what I mean? Like he doesn't need that from me. He's okay and whole within himself, right? But for me, I'm like, I want to be in his skin. I want to talk to you every second. I want to like, how was your day? What did you do? What did you eat? When did you go to the bathroom? Like, just so attached.
Yeah.
Like attached, and that's overwhelming.
It is.
To somebody that's detached.
I mean, in general, that's overwhelming.
It's
you know.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I realized that I have an attachment style to everything. I mean, my job. I mean, in the comfortability of my job, the money that my job brings me, my home, just my life in general, my friends, like everything. I'm very attached, and that's a stressful way to be.
It is.
Yeah.
Because the second something changes for me, and in the relationship, the second something changed, the second the mood changed, the second, and it had nothing to do with me. I'm like, oh, is it me? Like, is it? And it's just me being attached and not because what happens when you are so attached, you are fighting against change. Like when change comes, like God is moving you and your partner to a different area, a different era. God is moving you and your partner to a different place in your relationship, and you're so used to something being a certain way, and I was resisting change subconsciously and not allowing our relationship to grow, and just because I was so attached.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to, like, oh my gosh, that's not me. That's not me loving him. That's not me showing him that I love him physically. Right. Like, I have to release him and let him be free and let him be his own individual. And yeah, support him in things, but when I don't have to be in every thought that he has. I don't have to be in every second of his life.
Right.
You know,
in every room he's in.
That's so attached. So that is something that I brought into my relationship.
Yeah.
You know, that was something that I brought into my relationship, and it created a toxic environment, and we had a conversation about it. And I apologized to him, and he was like, "I accept you for who you are. I know you look crazy." And I'm like, "No, I appreciate you, but thank you for allowing me to apologize to you." And we are in a, like, we're good friends now. We're not in a relationship, but we're good friends now. And you know, it's open and it's free and it's detached, and I still love him. Just because it's detached in my new way of being doesn't mean I don't love you, doesn't mean I don't do, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean those things, right? But yeah, my attachment was always the outcome. I want the outcome to be this way. That comes into controlling and possessing.
Yes.
So I brought it in.
Think about that.
Can I ask you, where did that stem from? That, like, getting attached to things like that. Do you know where it stemmed from?
I think I was just born that way. I think I was born that way. Like with my mom, maybe I was spoiled a little bit. I got my way when I was younger. Like my mom
getting your way, maybe.
Maybe that too. Like my mom loved on me. All of my aunts and uncles, like we grew up in the same home. They were like I mean, I had so much love. I had so much reassurance. However, I will say in relationships is when I'm the most attached, because friendships and stuff like that, like, I'm detached, right? I love from afar, or from with other things, I'm more detached. I'm still attached. I'm more detached. But with relationships, I think it was my father not being super present and not having that relationship to the point where when I got the love from this man who loved me so much, and like he was providing and doing all these things, I'm like, oh, I don't want to let it go. Like I have to, like, and I was suffocating it.
Yeah, you
that makes sense.
just overdid it, right?
Exactly. I think it
overdid
came
it.
from the fear of lack of that experience.
A feeling what you felt then again.
Right.
Yeah. You know how, like, when people are poor when they're younger and they want to be rich, so they want to keep making money, and even if they already made
they're
$1 billion,
billionaires,
they got to still keep working because they have a fear of
the
you know what I
feeling
mean?
of being
even
poor.
a dollar
Of being poor. So I feel like it was similar, like, to that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I
And
feel like it was.
To piggyback off of you, Shira, I'm sorry, what you?
No,
because it's like so many things I was going through.
I know.
my
As
head.
we're talking,
And you're saying that, 'cause I'm like, wow, that's so funny. Mine's is totally the opposite. I had to learn how to actually attach,
right?
because I am a detacher. You know what I'm saying? And so, I realized that because when we was there, we went last week, right? So she said to us, love everyone the same. And I realized that I don't love everybody the same exact way that I would love my children. I don't love everybody the same. And if something happened to my kids today or tomorrow, I will go insane. You know, all those things I was thinking to myself. But it's like I feel like I was so detached for so long now, that now that healing actually helped me to get back in touch with it and actually not. I've always knew how to. I pray and I manifest and I put stuff out there and I detach from the outcome. I've always done that because I always knew I put it out there. Y'all know I'm a faith person. I know things to be true. I know it to be because I've seen things. So I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to do that. So I detach from that. But when it came down to relationships, and it was, I remember the very first love that I had, and it was your dad. And the love was so real, was so strong, and he did all of those things where, like, I was trying to hold on to this toxicity. I mean, it was so toxic, but I still wanted to hold on. But he's never been present, ever. His brain just doesn't work that way. You know, it could be from his family and things like that. So once I finally finished, that relationship hurt me for a good little while, for a very long time. No matter what he did, how he did it, I was still attached to him. I was so attached to him. But then one day, as I started, I was like almost, I don't know if it wasn't healing. I started getting madder and madder. And it was just like, so now I felt like everybody was the same. So I can't say of one man that I've been with that I was attached to. Like I was
After
to him.
that.
After him, I never attached to him.
You were so used to the disappointment.
Yeah.
And
I
you probably didn't
never
want to let anybody else
completely
that close,
in.
completely in again.
Not the love that I had for him.
Yeah.
The love that I had from him, it was more of a what y'all call it? It's not healthy. It's not a lustful love. It's
Like
it could have been like a possessive love.
Possessive, yeah.
Possessive, right?
Yeah.
It was that type of love that I had for him. No matter what, no matter how many beatings I got, I don't know what it was. It was just like I couldn't detach from him for years. And then when I finally did, I never attached to any man. Now, I love them, and I always been who I was, and I always do the things that I do, and I'm always going to love you. But I don't give you my whole heart until I know.
Until you know.
And I'm watching. It's like I don't care if you're in a relationship with me for 4 years. You are on an interview. I'm watching you. But I'm still, don't get me wrong, I'm not disconnected like that. No, because my very last, what was that? Me and him was together in Cali. What was that? 7 years almost.
Yeah.
That was a I was never attached to him the way I was like for my very first one. However, I still watched him and he proved me right.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, okay. So now I haven't gave up on it. I just know, okay, I have to balance the two,
Yeah.
you know.
And that's so true what you said. That's what I was thinking as you were talking and listening to both of y'all, how you're so different. The balance,
It's
like
balance.
finding that balance.
The
'Cause
middle.
there is
Yeah,
a
it's
healthy
middle ground.
attachment.
It is.
But then when I hear you talk, I'm like, that
That's
sounds
a bad attachment.
that
right?
sounds bad too. Yeah. So there's
Yeah.
definitely like what's
Yeah.
the healthy attachment, or is being attached not
Period.
is
I think
attached
it's-
bad?
I
Is
think
that a bad word?
I don't think it's a bad word. I think us being connected to each other, like have me and you have a connection, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I have this really strong connection with you, but I'm not attached to you.
Mm-hmm.
And me being attached to you, I feel like would water down our relationship because Naya, if I don't hear from you
Right.
in a month, is she mad at me? How come
Yeah.
she hasn't called me?
Right.
Is
You already
she
start thinking.
it's like I have this like attachment whether instead of just saying instead of me just letting you be free
and no, she's busy.
and know
Yeah.
and for me to know like no she's good like she's not worried about me right now like it's
Right.
not about me right now
Yeah.
she's living her life
Yeah.
and she's living her life and when we catch up we're gonna it's gonna be like we never left
Yeah.
each other
Right.
Yeah.
but being attached creates like a from what I understand like a possession or a
Like a control.
or a controlling
It is
sort of
controlling.
way.
It's very
Yeah.
controlling.
And then you put too much of yourself in it.
And
I don't need
Like
to
you
be
said,
in,
then is she mad at me? Or you start
Right.
internalizing things. You start overthinking.
I don't need to put myself in your life that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're not thinking about me that much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're literally just
so
living
yeah,
your
it's
life.
true.
Y'all, so I think I am an attached person.
I think
I
we
feel
all
like
are.
we all are.
We
I'm
all are.
very
There's a lot of
attached.
us out here that's very attached to a lot of things. Now,
Yeah.
one person I can say that is not an attacher, and is my baby brother Jamal.
Mhm.
Jamal, I love my brother, and I love the way he is, and he's always been this way. Even as a kid, I watch him. He loves everyone,
Mm-hmm.
but in death, he deals with things better than most will. You know, even though he may hurt and he hurt in his own way, like I miss you and things like that. But he even said to me, I don't attach to things and to people because those things go away.
Mhm.
And he's a great person. He loves you. He loves on you hard.
He
He gives you
does.
the time.
Yeah.
He's the best of the best.
Yeah.
But that's a person that I know for a fact that does not attach to just things.
And
And
I
that
think that's
people.
good. I don't think that
Yeah.
we're supposed to be attached to
Every
people or things.
Yeah.
But and I think that's why it's so important how we always say it's important to be present.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yes.
you know, living. So when I do have my time with you, Naya, or you, Mom,
Right.
I'm like
Soaking
in
it
that
up.
moment,
Mhm.
Yes.
and I'm experiencing that moment
And
because
it's
who knows
beautiful.
when that moment will come again.
Yeah.
So when you leave, I appreciate it so much more,
Yes.
and I'm not on a chase to try to, you know what I mean?
Find that again. Like, oh, I got to get that again.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
living life and enjoying the experiences,
Yep.
experiencing your person, having fun with your person,
And not bad.
and then when they
fighting all the
leave
time.
you,
Yeah.
and when they leave you, you know, releasing them with love, and when they come back, you're
It's
excited again.
excited again,
Mhm.
right?
But in the
Mhm.
moment where you're separated,
Mm-hmm.
yes, you miss them and you love them, you send them messages, but it's not oh man, that's affecting my whole mood.
Yes, and that's
I'm
what people
so
do.
sad now that
Yeah.
you're not here. How do I
Yes.
go on without
Yeah.
you? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
it's so
That's what
funny
it is.
that-
It doesn't
Yeah.
mean you don't not love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're not connected.
Yeah.
That's not what it means.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying?
don't want nobody saying, well, you know, you disconnected, so something wrong with you. No, it's just that I know. And Shiva, that's so funny that you even said it. It was something that I was getting ready to say towards that. Just letting, like, first off, living in the moment.
Mhm.
That moment that we were in a meditation museum, that was a moment of so much bliss.
Mhm.
And we enjoyed that day so much.
It was the best
And when we
day.
parted
I
ways
love that.
from you know my sister and my niece, and you know, it just was like, wow, like I missed them.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
and then even just like the detachment part, it's like it makes you feel good because you know you're not up. I can miss you. It's
Mhm.
okay.
I can
Like
miss you, and
I
I
can,
want to
okay.
and
see
I'm,
you
yeah,
again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see
Yeah.
you again.
Yeah.
And it's so good, and I feel like that's what, because I kind of went off the thought that I did have, but I do want to ask. Now even when we're talking about that, detachment and stuff like that, most people will say that that's some people. I ain't gonna say most people
Mhm.
will say that that's a bad thing.
Mhm.
So the next question I have is, who do you go to for relationship advice, and are they the right person
Mm.
to ask? So I can answer that starting off.
Mhm.
No one. I have learned before I would go to people. Let me tell you how I was before. I would go to everybody.
Yeah.
And I talk to that person. And, girl, so this is what? You know, talk to your girlfriend. So this is, and then they give their little, and the girl, because this is that. And then she's like, they'll get their little advice.
Mhm.
And what should I do?
Mhm.
And every advice that I got wasn't the advice that I would give to my friends. When I would talk to my friends now, like some of my good girlfriends, and they saying certain things, I'm not just listening to their side. I want to hear his side,
Mhm.
because it's two sides, and then I want to see how the middle went. You know, how, middle ground. You
Yeah.
know, but I wasn't that person. However, now I don't go to a soul. I speak to the Most High, my angels, all day long, because that's where I get my best answers from.
Mhm.
Because that's the most healed I'm going to get.
Mhm.
I don't go to brokenness,
Yeah.
and people don't know that they're broken.
Yeah.
So they think their advice is the best advice. Well, I wouldn't. But you single.
Mhm.
Well, I wouldn't do this. But you broke. Like, I'm just saying, like, you can't
I
ask
mean,
somebody.
yeah, you're not wrong. Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, well, what
That
do I?
part.
But
Yeah,
but not all people that say with things like that have bad advice. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying you just kind of looking at them when they giving you like bad advice. So how do y'all get y'all?
I think that what you said is key. First, going to God. The first
Mhm.
thing I do is pray.
Mhm.
Yes.
And I'll pray and pray and pray, and I will get my answers. I always get my answers. And then if I do, because God sends you people.
Mhm.
Yep.
God does send you people, and God
The
does
right
put
ones,
people
yep.
in your life to give you messages. And so the people that I would go to get advice from, they can't be biased. They
Nope.
can't be always on my side.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
It has to be somebody who's going to tell me when I'm wrong.
Yes.
So my mom is perfect. Like, if I has something that I'm going through, she's gonna tell me, well, Shira, that was too much.
Yeah.
Like, Shira, you're you know what I mean? You're doing too much.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what you should have done. Or she'll say, well, yeah, he should have been more considerate.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, like, somebody who is not biased is who you want to go to for relationship advice. But if it's somebody who's always on their side or always on your side, or
like you're never wrong.
super broken, or doesn't really know, and brokenness, that's not a bad thing, right? We all have things we're healing through, but you want to go to a neutral party, because I've made the mistake of telling someone what I was going through with someone, and now they hate that person.
Yeah, you can't do that.
They hate them
because they already had formed their opinion.
They hate that person,
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh, he's actually not bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just telling you how I feel, but they're so protective over me, and
Exactly.
you know what I mean, to the point where they're like,
Yes.
He's done
and I'm
for it.
like,
yeah.
oh man.
Yeah.
So I learned my lesson there, because
Yes.
you don't want your family and your friends hating this
You gotta
guy.
be careful. Yeah.
You want them to love him.
Yes.
You want to go like to I say a mutual party, God first, and a mutual party.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, like you said, that God sent one. I did have a and I want you to answer, Naya. But I did have I had a lunch with one of my good girlfriends.
Good girlfriend.
My good girlfriends. I had lunch with her recently, and I asked her a question, and you know what she said? Because I know she's very in tune, very spiritual. And she said, "Let me sit on it." She said, "I'm gonna pray about it, and I'll get back to you on
See
what what I'm supposed to say to you.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm not giving you any advice, because I don't know.
See,
If I do, I'm going to be giving you advice from my opinion.
Yeah.
I love
But
it.
I'm not giving you advice from what God tells me to tell you.
Yes.
And this is how she always responds to anything that we speak about.
That's important.
And she'll just sit there, and she's very quiet.
Yeah.
And you know when she's getting downloads. So you want those type of people in your life.
Yeah.
You want those type of friends.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree. Like a healed person, or you don't even have to be healed, but like like you said, having that faith, having that higher connection to something higher than us.
Yeah.
And also a neutral person. I think both.
Yeah.
But I used to go to everybody.
Yeah,
because for so long I didn't talk about anything that had to do with me or relationship at all. And so then once I found people that I felt safe with, then it was like, oh my God, like you sure?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'm gonna tell you everything. Okay, this is what's really going on. Like, you know.
Right.
But then, like you said, the person they might start to form opinions. You're a good person, you don't do that. But some people they start to form opinions about the person, then they giving them a side eye.
Yeah, when
or,
they see him.
or you got people that have big mouths and they might tell somebody else. And
Right.
it's like, why are you telling my business?
And that's
all
not
these
even what it
people are
is.
looking at you crazy.
Looking at me crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah, I
true.
think a neutral person, or like you said, honestly, no one at all. And I think it depends on the situation.
It does.
Like most of the time, I don't talk to anybody. If we like got into an argument today, I wouldn't, like a stupid argument, I wouldn't tell anybody. But if it's something like big
That's
where it's
pulling you.
really affecting me and weighing me down, then I am a person where I need to go to a trusted person
Yeah.
and talk it through with them, just to
Yeah.
kind of like, you know.
You have to make sure that they have the, you know, they actually was sent to give you that that answer that you need. Because we do have angels, and I don't know why people don't understand or even know that, you know, believe that, but we definitely do.
Yeah,
guys, it's so funny because we have so many other questions, and I know we are actually coming down to our time.
Are we?
Y'all. We are coming down to our time. We literally have less. It seemed like we literally just got
started.
Here.
Oh my God.
All right, we need to love part 2.
Yeah, we're going to have to have a part 2.
We have to.
Yes. And next time we're going to have a man on here too. With a part 2, you know, a man's perspective. I love it. But we did have a little fun game. First off, do y'all have anything else that y'all want to say before going to this game? Because I'm excited.
No, go ahead.
Okay, let's see. So yeah, we play too much. So we are going to give a healed versus a unhealed scenario game. Answer scenarios as both versions of yourself.
Okay.
So you got to answer these scenarios as both versions of yourself. So your healed self
and your old self.
And your old self, right? Okay, there we go.
Okay.
All right, so y'all know I play too much because I'm always coming up with stupid stuff. So, all right, y'all. This is for everybody. So you walk in the room, you walk in your crib, you know, and you smell something cooking, and it's and you find your homegirl cooking it for your man in your house. Now, mind you, she just over there, you know, he been his little simple, chill self. You know, sometimes they can get a little thing like, you know, a little weird. So anyway, so you find her cooking and everything. You walk into the kitchen. They don't really know that you there. And she, you know, letting him taste it. You know, asking for him to.
She feeding him?
Yeah, she's feeding him. So she said, "Here, taste this," and feed him. You know, just test it. And then he gives a compliment like, that is good. What is your response, y'all? We don't have long to answer our responses, so we gotta go.
Gosh. Oh my gosh. Old me? First of all, there are questions. There are so many questions. First of all, why are you in my house?
Why are you in my house?
How did you? Why am I not home and why are you in my house?
Why are you in my kitchen?
And why are you in my kitchen? Why are you using my pots? Why are you touching my
seasoning?
And my seasonings?
My seasonings.
What?
Crazy.
Seasonings is you open my seasoning cabinet? That's first of all.
My heavy cream? How much are you putting? Like, what are you doing?
You're using my groceries that I bought
for the grocery store to cook for my man?
To cook, what? In my house?
With the fork in his mouth from your hand, girl?
Ooh.
So wait a minute. So are y'all mad at the girl, or y'all mad at the girl, or are y'all mad at the man too?
Now you go.
So normally I'm never mad at the girl, right? In situations with a guy. I don't believe in that.
Right.
Because they normally don't owe me anything. But if you're my homegirl,
yeah,
I'm pissed off at the both of y'all.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm more mad at, but I'm pissed off at the both of y'all. And old me, oh my God, old me is blacking out, honestly.
Yeah.
Old me couldn't even tell you what she's doing.
Right.
She's probably taking the hot pot of sauce and throwing it. Like she's grabbing your stuff and lighting it on fire. Like old me is just blacking out and going berserk. That's all I know. So
what old you, man?
So what about old me? New me though, it's like I'm not putting hands on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hurting anybody physically. I'm saying words that are definitely hurting you. I'm just kicking you out my house, I guess. Like,
okay. Okay.
That's all I can do.
That's all you can do.
Because I can't go to jail.
Right.
So,
Over this stupid stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's not stupid. That's wild.
However,
Because you're my
got you
man.
out of your character, so you know, you don't want to go to jail. Cause
Yeah,
in
no, I'm not gonna
reality,
touch
yes.
it.
Wow. That's
a little bit.
I'm just kicking him out and removing you from my life. Never talk to you again. Both of y'all getting blocked, and that's just that.
Okay.
Wait, that's the Hill version?
That's the Hill
Okay,
version.
because that's boundaries.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, and what's your?
If I'm coming in the house,
Coming in, you find
because you know, so I'm getting angry because when I walk in, I'm like, oh, my baby's cooking for me.
Right,
oh,
you
it smells
excited.
good.
You
know I like
to
You know I like to eat, but then to see someone else.
Ooh.
So I'm just like, I know sometimes men can be naive.
Mm-hmm.
They could be like, oh,
Sure.
like, you know what I mean? So she's just cooking. This is your best friend, right?
I thought you knew she was over here.
No.
Right. So, but the first thing, like, she's in my kitchen. She's cooking for my husband because he my husband.
Period.
Right.
And she's feeding him. Unhealed me. I'm beating her up first. We're
Get her out
fighting.
the way.
I'm stomping her out. Her
Yeah.
head is on the counter. Like, it is violent. He's getting it as well. I'm going
Right,
from
both
back
of
and
you.
forth.
Both
I'm
of them at the
slapping
same
him. Slap. Please hide the knives because one of y'all might.
No, for real.
One of y'all
'cause you're
might get
crazy.
cut.
Y'all
Might get cut.
You might cut
I
somebody.
might cut
You actually might.
If there's boiling water,
You better not. Oh,
Better
my
be careful.
it's the old me.
Yeah.
I
All right,
will probably
so-
go to jail.
Okay.
What this Hill lady talk about?
Being like, get to the hill, John. Get to the hill.
She crazy.
They healed me. I have to breathe, and I would stare into the kitchen. I'd stand there for a second, and I'd breathe, and I'd tell her name Cassandra in this. Are you? Cassandra, pack your things and get out.
Cassandra.
Don't ask me any questions. Just
Please
leave my
leave.
house.
Quick.
Me and you will talk later. His name gonna be Andrew. Andrew.
Andrew.
I'm gonna need you to get your things and leave the house. Give me until tomorrow to think about this.
Mhm.
You think about what you did. You think about what you did. I'll have conversations later. But right now, you need to leave. Both of
Get
you.
out my presence. I don't want to see your faces.
And then I'm gonna need to take my time. And the next day, even if I might still be angry the next day. So give me some time.
Right.
But once I have time, I'm the type of person that needs to process.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Or else I
Everything.
get very violent. So
Yeah.
I would be like, okay, so this is where you did. And I'll talk to him about what he's done. He'll probably tell me he's stupid and, he didn't know, whatever. He's just like, oh, she's your best friend. She's here all the time. And we're always together. Something stupid like that. If
Yeah.
he's my husband, he's not thinking on that type of level, probably.
Right.
Probably.
Okay.
I'm going to assume the best. And then my
Okay.
best friend, she's just being a hoe. She's being a whore.
She's trying to get in.
Ooh, I shouldn't have said that. She's probably being a skank. No, it's like, what do I say?
You can't just don't say
She's
nothing.
probably being a thought.
Just don't say nothing.
She's probably being. It's like none of those things are bad terms.
She gonna take back whore.
and then gonna say skate.
Say skate.
It's okay it's not wrong with being a whore. You just gotta learn how to, But like she's probably trying to be promiscuous. She's probably trying to be.
She wants your man.
Sneaky. She's probably looking at him behind. She's probably not secure within herself, right? She's got healing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and she's probably not able to be my friend in that moment, like in this time of her life, right? So I would talk to
lifetime.
her about it in the lifetime.
Not in this lifetime.
Lifetime, not moment. Lifetime.
But I'm usually able to catch those things. But yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was good. I like that you assumed the best of your man.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think if you're with me and we married, you ain't.
Yeah, you just you.
That's
you,
just a wild.
You gotta
scenario.
ask. Yeah,
He's most likely it's her that's driving it.
It's
my
her.
man.
Mhm.
And he's probably just too nice to not to like. Like, oh yeah,
Okay.
But
That's
you let
why-
her feed you.
you let her feed you. But we're gonna talk about that.
All right. Go ahead.
That's why I need my man to be a little bit mean. I need a guy that's a little.
Yeah, I don't
mean.
like too friendly.
You can't be too nice.
Don't act like you too
because of the
naive.
girls.
Right.
You gotta be a little
Like,
mean. Like
Women prey on that. A
Mhm.
nice man. Mm-mm.
Nah, you gotta be a little mean.
Wow. So, I cannot answer mine because it's already
No,
time to
answer
go.
No,
yours.
quick.
Answer yours really quick.
Um,
What would old you
it's
do?
Old me was still, it was never violent. I've seen some stuff had happened.
Don't lie.
You
I
said old
never-
you wasn't violent?
I never when I seen somebody actually cheating on me, and I seen the the thing in the trash can that they just found. I didn't go crazy.
Naya,
I did not. No, I'm being honest. I did not go crazy.
I remember a story of you grabbing my dad's face.
But that wasn't from a girl. That wasn't from a girl.
okay.
That was from. I honestly, I feel like I've
But
I have
old
to think-
unhealed you.
No, actually, eventually, I didn't. I came in. She was there. She was there. This is the whole. This is not her coming in the crib and all this other stuff. No, this girl was still there. It had apparently just happened. The room, sex was in the air. You smelled everything, and I had my daughter in my hand, but I did not go crazy.
But that was God.
Yeah.
I did not go crazy.
Did
but
you think violent thoughts?
I did.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I
Because
did. No, I'm not, that's
sometimes-
what I'm saying. I'm not saying I was healed. I'm just telling you, I did not go running after this.
But no, because I'm saying sometimes we process and we're like,
I process everything
you
differently.
just like staring.
Yeah, I
you know?
process everything differently.
But in your head.
Everything differently. And now I'm not gonna say I have not got violent and tried to stab the man eye out and rip his ear. I am not saying that. What I'm saying is the healed me now.
I ripped his ear off.
It was crazy. Oh my God, it was blood everywhere. He's like, crazy. But the new person, honestly, I think I give everybody too much of the benefit of the doubt now.
I could see that for
I
you.
give everybody too much of the benefit of the doubt, but I do have to think about a lot of things that I do before I do it because it's like I have to be very mindful on who I am. I have to be very mindful. But y'all, we can finish this up. We are literally over time, and I don't want to be over time today.
I know.
So, what divine note are we on today? My divine note today is being at peace.
Yes.
As you see that, the old me, peaceful.
Peace and love.
Being at peace, love, learning, and stillness and quietness.
Love that. The divine note I'm on is being present. I'm very present today.
I love
Yes.
that. And the divine note that I'm on, I'm in a era of building.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yes. Well, guys, this
That's
is
a
it for
wrap.
us. We are so excited. Thank you all for watching. Please definitely like, share, subscribe,
Like it.
while you are watching.
Yep.
Share it.
Yep, all
and
that.
all that good stuff.
All that.
All right, you guys have an amazing night.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. Remember to subscribe, like, and share, and follow us on all social media platforms.